You can't make this
Long time.
Good Monday morning out there, Colts fans. We witnessed the Colts beating the Steelers on Saturday. It was absolutely fabulous. The Colts, now, they did exactly what they had to do. All last week I was saying like how they had to beat the Steelers. They had to beat the Steelers in this game. We're going to talk about the Steelers game, how it unfolded from beginning to end in this episode. Tomorrow, I'll make a video about the Indiana Hoosiers basketball team and everything that happened against Kansas, because I just haven't had enough time to really analyze what happened and make a video about it. Today, we'll talk about the Colts and the Steelers and everything that happened and the playoff scenarios and everything like that on this episode. But first, let's thank our sponsor, Reynolds Wrap, for 75 years, helping save you time in the kitchen. Reynolds Wrap aluminum foil in the easy find box. There's a pink strip on the box now. It's easier to find in your grocery aisle. Reynolds Wrap, a great American company. Thank you for sponsoring this video. All right, let's talk about the Colts and what happened in the game. So if you're like me, the beginning of the Colts game against the Steelers, I was just getting so angry. The Colts came out, get out to a 13-0 deficit, and it just seemed like from the beginning of the game, it just was not going well for the Colts at all. It was typical of what we'd see. We hadn't beat the Steelers since 2008. And we haven't beat the Steelers and the Patriots in the same season since 2005. So we get a chance to do both of those things. And the Colts really came out. And I was just, the first quarter, first quarter and a half, it was not looking good at all for the Colts. What was happening out there, the blocked punt. But this is where I think the Colts really deserve to be in the playoffs. Playoff teams show resolve and show a lot of resilience. The Colts needed to win that game. I mean, bouncing back after playing a complete crap game against the Cincinnati Bengals last week, and then to come out in this game and get out to a 13-0 deficit on this team. I mean, and then not only that, at the point when Pittman got knocked out of the game, I really thought the game was going to go one of two ways. I mean, the Colts were either going to give up right there, or they're going to do what they did and score 31 unanswered points. Now, I didn't think they were going to score 31 unanswered points. I thought the game might get a little chippy and a little rough as it went on, and I thought they would really struggle even to come back from being down 13-0. Because we've seen this week after week after week. With Zach Moss out, with Pittman knocked out of the game on a dirty hit. I mean, you got to talk about that hit. Pittman's diving to the ground, and that guy comes in and really lays a lick on him. I thought he was going to be fine. It's just like in the NFL these days, that guy knew exactly what he was doing. He knew by coming in there with his head that Pittman was going to be knocked out of the game. I really feel like they were taking some cheap shots early, and then the Colts, once the Colts offensive line got rolling, oh my God, it was game over. That's what was really unbelievable about the end of this game, was the Colts line, how they just manhandled the Steelers. And with Trey Sermon, who I don't know if anybody remembers, I remember him when he played at Ohio State. I mean, I remember he had some really great games at Ohio State, this Sermon guy did. So he's not like some guy. I mean, you got to be a high prospect out of high school or anything to be playing at Ohio State. So this guy's a good football player. And then Goodman, that I've never heard of. I don't know where he's from. I'll do some more research on him today. But these two guys come in, and the Colts just effectively run the ball down their throats. This is where can be a little bit frustrating watching the Colts. I mean, the offensive line last week, and in many times, there's been a lot of games where they've played bad for like a quarter or two and then got their stuff together. But if our offensive line can play like how they played in that game, and we can run the ball like that, and that they gave him time too. I mean, Minshew got sacked. I mean, I think he got sacked 3 times, but for the most part, he got the ball out of his hands. He didn't allow the big mistake. That's what I was looking for. I mean, is TJ Watt going to get free and knock the ball out of his hands? That didn't really happen like how we thought. I mean, really the blocked punt kind of gave them a false sense of being up 13-0, and I don't know really what happened from that point on, but it was a great game to watch once the Colts were able to kind of take control, because everything went bad. They were able to go up. They were 14-13 going in at halftime, and you're thinking, a lot of my mind at halftime was thinking a lot about the Bengals game last week, how the Colts came out, kind of got a lucky touchdown in that game on that pick six, and, made the game a game. At halftime, it was tied, but then as soon as the second half started, the Bengals just completely took control of the game against the Colts. But that's not what happened this week. The Colts took it amongst themselves, and these backup wide receivers. We got to talk about this guy, number 2, Montgomery, number 2. Now, he dropped that ball in the end zone, but he came right back and redeemed himself on like 2 long passes, and Minshew started looking this guy's way. A little bit what I was saying during the game is, like, once Pittman went out, I don't think they really knew who to double cover or not double cover. And they had both of their safeties got knocked out of the game as well. So that just added another element of, like, okay, the Colts' best wide receivers out there. But Minshew got it done. I mean, with the guys that we put out there, Sermon and Goodman ran the ball down their throats. We needed this game. I mean, if we lost this game, it's over for the Colts. They go to 7-7. They're not winning 3 games in a row. Now we're in a situation where we play the Falcons next week. We have 3 games where, I mean, if we win 2 out of these next 3 games, and it's starting to smell a little bit like the Carson Wentz year, where it's like you get down to these last few games, you just got to win. You should be able to beat the Raiders. You should be able to beat the Falcons. The Falcons lost to the Carolina Panthers yesterday, so not looking that great for the Falcons. But so in this game, in the end, I mean, we showed a lot of really resilience and resolve. I mean, after this game, and who knows, I mean, they could lose their next 3 games, but after this game, the team definitely looks like they are going in the right direction to get into the playoffs. Hopefully I don't jinx them. We got to win this game against the Falcons this next week. Christmas Eve. Colts play on Christmas Eve coming up. But from all this, the Colts, they're in a good position to get into the playoffs. It's going to be a tough struggle down the stretch, but we have some easy games. It's going to be tough beating the Texans. Even at home, they're going to be a tough game. We are right there with everybody else, and we're in the 7th seed to get in the playoffs right now. A great game for the Colts. Absolutely took care of business, did exactly what they needed to do in this game. I mean, this week, would love to see them really hone in and play. It would be nice to have like a blowout win, really. The Colts have played so many tight games. Every game's like a heart attack. And it's like, it would just be nice to see them have a game that was a little bit more comfortable in tow as it goes along, and we're not just sitting on the edge of our seat the entire time. But we'll see what happens next week. But right now, the Colts are taking care of business. And until next time, stay classy out there, Colts fans.